Midfield triangle, Felix on that left-hand side, Fernandez on the right, and Cristiano Ronaldo with a goal in the first game, seeing if he can follow that up here in the second against Uruguay. Now for Uruguay, Diego Alonso, we have it listed as a 4. I expect this to be a back 3, potentially with Jimenez, Godin, and Coates as the 3 center backs there. And in front of that, Bentancur, Valverde, what a season he is having for Real Madrid in La Liga. And Darwin Nunez up front alongside Edinson Cavani, who comes into the team with Suarez making his way to the bench.
And all eyes on that man, Cristiano Ronaldo, as we technically reach the halfway point of this World Cup. This is game number 32. We play 64. So it's 32 games down, 32 to go, if you will, when the final whistle comes tonight. And tomorrow we start the simultaneous kickoffs and the group stage finales here at this World Cup. Luis Suarez watching from the bench. Cavani takes his place. Uruguay under the more pressure of the two. But a rematch from the round of 16 4 years ago. We were there in Sochi. It was a wild night and a wild finish. And Uruguay beat Portugal 2-1. What happens tonight? We're underway. Portugal, appropriately enough, as we've moved past Thanksgiving on towards Christmas in the red and green. Uruguay switching from their traditional light blue to white. Portugal, they had to work for it, but they got the opening day win 3-2 over Ghana. Ronaldo made some history with his goal. They got 2 players scoring goals on their World Cup debuts as well. It means Portugal can clinch a spot in the next round with a win tonight. Last time they won their first 2 games at a World Cup was the last time they reached the semifinal in 2006. Uruguay on the other side, they hit the post twice in a scoreless draw with South Korea. Didn't technically have a shot on goal as a result. They did not allow a shot on goal either. They're in a little bit more pressure here for this one. They can't be eliminated. But this result tonight will set up what they need in their finale Friday against Ghana, who have showed they are no pushovers. So we'll see what sort of approach Uruguay have to this one with some global superstars down on that field. And Ronaldo quickly on the ball, and this is quickly off the ball. How do you think this one's going to look?
Well, it is a back 3 as we expected for Uruguay. Godin at the heart of that. It's going to be fun watching him matched up against Cristiano Ronaldo. Those two familiar with their time in La Liga when he was at Atletico Madrid and Ronaldo was at Real Madrid. And for Fernando Santos' team, I'm interested to see how they can stay disciplined throughout the game and which ways they can break down this Uruguayan defense, which at times will be 5. So you're going to have players running underneath. But ultimately, I think they're going to have time and space in the wide areas at times. It's going to be delivering good quality crosses to give Ronaldo a chance.
Some pressure there, and Uruguay take the ball away. And a chance to fire that one in first effort of the night coming in from Matias Vecino. An early look there for Uruguay.
Good-looking combination play. Something I've seen early in this game already. Uruguay are stepping up their pressure very high. Oliveira shoots. He just kind of slices it off. Little combination with Edinson Cavani. And for Diego Alonso, first time playing with a back 3 for Uruguay. I haven't seen them play this system in a year and a half. So interested to see how this goes in their movements and how much they will have trained this and how much of this is planning for Portugal and trying to nullify their ability to possess the ball in their own half, because they're stepping up and getting that numbers advantage to limit their ability to play through the lines.
They're trying to sneak Ronaldo in behind. He chests it into the middle of the field, and it's fired over by William Carvalho.
A little bit of inventiveness there from Ronaldo with a big chest. Look at that. Oh, it actually comes off the shoulder.
That makes a little bit more sense. I know he doesn't miss the push-ups day, but
it does end up coming off his shoulder, finding Carvalho. It's a tough skill. He's taking it out of the air on the full volley.
There's Pepe on the ball, becomes the third oldest field player ever to see action in the World Cup. Andrew Miller back in 1994. Atiba Hutchinson actually just a couple of weeks older than him on the field for Canada earlier in this tournament. And he's drafted in as Danilo, the starting center back for Portugal. 3 broken ribs in practice on Saturday. Seems to be sure he's going to be out for the group stage. Some light hope he could return for the knockout stage, but that would be asking an awful lot with an awfully painful injury. And Otavio as well, one of the midfielders for Portugal who started. He's out with an undisclosed injury concern. That's where William Carvalho comes in. Popped in the air by Valverde. Ruben Neves able to chest it down. And Felix, one of the 2 Portuguese players who scored on their World Cup debut in their opener on Thursday.
Nice little turn out of pressure. Second time already. Seen Jimenez come pretty tight in the pressure from behind, and Felix able to use his body and just his balance to spin out of that. Uruguay playing with a pretty high defensive line, and that's just a mishit pass. Felix looking in that far right-hand side, trying to pick out Cancelo.
Searching for Valverde in a wrestling match there with Nuno Mendes, who gets the start at left back, and that's going to be whistled for a foul.
Yeah, I think early in this game, John, you're going to see a lot of long direct passes we have already. It's going to be about who can win those second balls right now. Uruguay stepping up with a lot of pressure. They don't want Portugal to have time and space on the ball, as there's a kick behind the play there on Ruben Diaz, and that's part of the aggressive. Are we going to see a yellow card here already?
Early yellow card. That was Bentancur running through. Alireza Fagani, originally from Iran, now lives and works in Australia. He was the referee for Brazil-Serbia. That was the game. Remember, Serbia came in hot and heavy. They kicked Neymar out of the game, concerned for Neymar's ankle injury. And so it'll be interesting to see how Alireza Fagani handles this one.
You see the left foot actually on the right ankle there of Ruben Diaz, and that's of course a position where they already had to bring in Pepe because of the injury to Danilo. Very experienced player in the Premier League. Ruben Diaz, what a start he has had to life with Manchester City over the past couple of seasons. This is Ronaldo again with the little, here comes the right shoulder. And the strike from Carvalho over the top of the crossbar. So he's a showman.
What do we make of this guy right now? It's such a fascinating situation because he comes in with the most goals scored of any man in international soccer history. He could actually leave this tournament in FIFA's record books, at least, with the most games played of any man in international soccer history. And yet he's coming off a fall with Manchester United. He had more fouls committed than shots on goal in the Premier League. And then he torpedoed that relationship very deliberately with that TV interview just before the tournament began, as Carvalho wins that ball away. Mendes looking long for Ronaldo, who's going to rise up and knock it down. Bruno Fernandes taking his chance from distance there and ends up wide.
And Ronaldo wanted the ball back wide. And this is where he's incredibly effective, too. The timing of his jumps, and just look at that vertical there. I mean, he's a good 8 inches above Oliveira on that challenge. Knocks it down straight to his teammate. Bruno Fernandes takes the strike from deep, and the chance is gone. But look, Ronaldo is not the player he was 10 years ago, but nobody expects him to be that player, or maybe himself, actually, that still expects himself to.
I think there's an awful lot of people in this building who expect him to be that player.
But look, go back to the year before. This last one, he was the top scorer for Manchester United in the Premier League. And if used in the right way, he can still be incredibly effective. But he's not going to chase all around the field and defend and track back and has the tricks and all the flicks and step overs and run it guys 1v1. He's more of just an out-and-out finisher, and then still a guy in the air, one of the best in the world, and can still be a big focal point for this team. But he's not going to do it himself. He needs guys around him to help complement him and bring the best out of him.
Long it goes again. This time Joao Felix trying to chase this one down. And Jimenez looking for help that's not coming right now. Back for Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo comes to get it. Ronaldo once again. Inside it comes. Bruno Fernandes trying to play through. Jimenez sliding block. And the clearance bounces out for a goal kick.
Well, Portugal doing a good job when they have possession in the attacking third of getting runners behind the back line, and it's forcing Uruguay to drop. Look, both Cristiano Ronaldo and Silva trying to make that run to get behind. Ronaldo would have been offside had that one got through. There was a deliberate play on the ball by the defender as well before that point.
Edison Cavani on the other side. No less a legend in his own country, getting the start tonight over Luis Suarez. Cavani, who scored twice when these teams faced off in Russia 4 years ago. We were here 2 nights ago. 88,966 were with us for Argentina-Mexico. Biggest crowd of the Men's World Cup game since the '94 final at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Carvalho gets it away wide. Fernandez just miscontrolled it. Darwin Nunez, one of the brightest stars at this World Cup, running towards the corner, and he's able to get a corner kick out of it.
And he's trying to fire up his fans behind the goal. Just look at the power and the drive, the determination from Darwin Nunez there to turn. He was in pressure with 3 defenders around him, drives it all the way down the line, and then there was nobody in the box, but there didn't need to be. The defender doesn't know that. Tries to make a challenge on Nunez. It goes behind for a corner, and they get a chance to bring some bodies up here in the attack. One
of the 2 times they hit the post was from a corner in their opener. It's taken short this one. It's looped into the box. It's a header that's almost had a touch or not. Diego Costa there just sort of pulling out of the last moment and letting it go onto the roof of his net.
It was a good jump from Jimenez. Great lead between 2 defenders, and looks like he just got his hands out of the way there, Costa.
Ball stays in play. Joao Felix. That might be a little bit of a foul on Jimenez, and the whistle finally goes.
He's got to start watching out for accumulation of fouls on Joao Felix here, Jimenez. He's done that a couple of times, already 3 to my count in this game.
That time it's Ruben Neves who's jumped to the turf. And Reza Fagani with the quick sprint there as he's got Ruben Diaz running at him. Mark Clattenburg. All right, let's bring you in already here. Give us your thoughts on how referee Reza Fagani approaches this thing.
What he's done first of all is he gave a yellow card for a bad foul. It was a clear stepping on the ankle, so therefore he set his tolerance level. However, he's still got some management skills. He wants to calm the players down. He doesn't want another yellow card, because what will happen is he'll have a risk of 2 yellow cards and dismissing a player. So he wants to keep all 11 players, 22 players on the field of play. He'll try and manage this situation, and hopefully the players will calm down.
We mentioned he did that Brazil-Serbia game. The Brazilians have been furious about the fouls on Neymar. Does that come into play in a referee's head now the next time out? Does it change how he approaches it?
Sure, because if they're targeting Felix, you've got to protect the players at all times. So therefore, if you see a player being fouled by different players, because sometimes it can be different players fouling the same player, you need to step in and give that yellow card.
They under some pressure there, just going long. Chance for Bruno Fernandes to run. Got 2 assists in the opener on Thursday. Ronaldo lays it back in. There's Ronaldo once more for Bruno Fernandes. Then Carvalho. Joao Felix pushed off it by Valverde. Cavani.
Well, Nunez has got some space if they can find him early. The window is gone, the low hesitation.
João Cancelo able to control that one back for Diego Costa. Getting the start ahead of a couple other options as he just sort of came into this one at the age of 23 out of nowhere. Really both goalkeepers have very recently taken over their starting jobs as Godin slices that one out. It will be a throw down in the corner. Here's Ronaldo. What'd you say about the tricks and the flicks and the septovers?
And then went backwards.
João Cancelo returns it. That ball just runs out on Bernardo Silva.
I didn't say he didn't have it in his bag. I said you just don't see it as often. And it's a good job there from Varela not to dive in, not to go for any of those step overs and not get beat and just force Ronaldo to play that ball backwards. Still a feeling out period in this game. It's swinging back and forth. It's scrappy in the middle of the field. There's turnovers, there's tackles.
And Portugal in the more comfortable position of the two. They clinch a spot in the next round with a win. Pepe, great ball. João Felix has it now. João Felix deflected shot, and that will end up out for Portugal's first corner of the night.
It's a great ball from Pepe, just quickly to find Bernardo Silva in that pocket of space behind the back line. He turns quickly, gets it out to Felix, and he's trying to smash this one low and hard. I thought he might try and bend it around that defender with a little bit more height, might have got over the top of him. But it was a good challenge in the end, and a little deflection goes out for a corner. Pepe is a threat on these set pieces, as well as the obvious target in Cristiano Ronaldo, who right now he's trying to run off the two bodies. You see a little communication right there between him and Ruben Diaz about trying to set a pick. So Ronaldo's peeled away. He's going to try and hook his run around to lose his marker in Godin.
It was Pepe who scored from a corner in the meeting at the round of 16 4 years ago in Sochi. All the way back. And that's going to be a foul and a free kick on the other side. Otherwise, Fagane was just waiting to see if an advantage came from that cross in.
Oh, they'll take that.
Nuno Mendes a little shaken up.
It's absolutely a foul. I think what they had tried to plan on that set piece didn't end up working out because it was a long driven ball. Bit of a heavy first touch. Looked like the opportunity was gone to get a good cross into the box, but they end up winning a free kick, and now pretty dangerous spot, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo with his trademark run-up. You've also got Bruno Fernandes standing over it too, but I imagine that, yeah, he's walked away. This is going to be Ronaldo's ball. And
Sergio Rochet, just his 10th start for Uruguay, the age of 29. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 58 career. Ronaldo off the top of the wall. Looked like that was Bentancur. Got his face to it, out for a corner.
You know a job I wouldn't want? Being in, being in that wall right there, taking a full blast from Ronaldo. And
rolled short. Deflected out. That was alert on the outside as Neves was trying to send it in. It was Valverde out there. Now it's Bruno Fernandes who comes in and balls off Bernardo Silva. They used to be teammates, those two, until Ronaldo ended up having his contract severed at Manchester United. Operators are standing by. And in comes the outswinging corner all the way through. Edinson Cavani a chance to make some history of his own this evening. Would be the first Uruguayan to score at 4 different World Cups. Luis Suarez could also be. He's on the bench right now, unable to find the back of it. Didn't even register a shot in the scoreless draw with South Korea. Mendes weaving in. Ruben Neves opens it up to the far side. João Cancelo back for Neves. Mendes once again on the near side. His cross sort of sliced away. João Cancelo trying to get that under control. Hands it off to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes hooks it across. Stabbed away by Godin. Only as far as Neves. That was stabbed out as well. How can Uruguay break? Here's Cavani. Nunez furthest forward. It's meant for him. It finds him down off the chest. That was overhit then, trying to go across to Valverde.
This has been a good spell for Portugal. You thought maybe for a half second Uruguay were going to get out of some of that pressure. Looking for Nunez. It's a bad pass. He's looking for Valverde. The chance is gone. But Portugal using the ball very well. Good crisp passing, shifting it side to side, working that back line, forcing them to move, waiting for the gaps to open up, firing shots from distance.
Intercepted by Pepe. Giving up, what, 16 years to the guy he's marking tonight, Darwin Nunez. Ronaldo for Neves. Bernardo Silva on the run. Ronaldo's furthest forward. William Carvalho. Had to scoop that one in.
Yeah.
Collision of players, 2 men down. Carvalho picks it up. Bruno Fernandes, who's the more banged up of the 2 in that collision of feet, challenging for that bouncing ball. And Oliveira sees it, plays it out.
Looks like he ends up just kicking the bottom of the foot of Darwin Nunez.
This is how it looks earlier today. What a game that was. Ghana up 2-0 at halftime, blew the 2-goal lead, ended up winning it 3-2 over South Korea. So Ghana right back in the mix after losing their opener. Here's Cristiano Ronaldo picking it up wide. It's not going to stop him. Lifting that all the way across. Bruno Fernandes will recycle it. João Cancelo, space and time. Elects to cut it back at Oliveira. Crossing the deck, right back to his feet. Bruno Fernandes. Driven ball. Carvalho let it go. João Felix. Back from Mendes. Over Neves. Cross to the far side. Bernardo Silva surveys. Bruno Fernandes returns. Oh, Silva couldn't take that in stride.
Yeah, they're sitting so deep right now, Uruguay. And just look at the movement in front of their back line. Felix comes inside. Bruno Fernandes goes wide. Bernardo Silva. They're all just so hard to mark with a one-touch movement like that. And Uruguay can't relieve pressure. They can't possess the ball. Not able to find their initial outlet. Portugal swarming defensively. This has been a good 24 minutes so far for this Portuguese team.
They fired off 5 shots, just none of them have forced a save out of Sergio Rochet. Mendes wanted it wide out to the left. He's going to get it now. Morella comes to meet him. And it comes to Nuno Mendes. First time cross in, got knocked down. Joe Felix was lining up for a shot.
Yeah, just in a little miscommunication there. What a great move. Again, they drew Uruguay out this time a little bit with the ball that goes to the back. And then as soon as that initial pass comes in, it breaks the line of the midfield pressure. They get the ball wide. Mendes decides to play it in early. It's a good early ball as Uruguay before it got to him, and he would have had a clear shot on goal.
Again, winning a one-on-one duel with young Darwin Nunez, although we have work to do here. Nunez picks it back up, couldn't control cleanly. Ruben Diaz able to deal with it. Uruguay, if they can get a result tonight, it would mean they don't need to worry about the other game. Final day of the group. If they can win tonight, they only need to draw against Ghana. If they get a tie tonight, they would need a win but not need to worry about it. As if they lose, they would need to win the finale, and they would need things to go their way in the Portugal-South Korea game, because they would have to, best case scenario, end up in a goal differential battle to advance. Uruguay, who have reached the knockout stage of the last 3 World Cups, including a semifinal appearance. Long run on the far side. Bruno Fernandes not going to get there. Fernando Santos on the other side. He's had this job for a while now. September 2014, won the European Championship in 2016. That was the first winter tournament title in Portugal's history. You know, out of the round of 16 at the last World Cup, out of the round of 16 at the European Championship, somewhat more on par for Portugal. Twice they've made the semifinal of a World Cup. The last was in 06. But as we said, it's not that they necessarily have this incredible history at tournaments. They've found pockets of success over the years. But when you have Cristiano Ronaldo, the expectations are sky high. And Fernando Santos and Portugal are trying to live up to here in Qatar. Fernandez, the facilitator right now. I heard the guys mention in the studio 3 goals and 3 assists combined his last 4 games for his country. Ronaldo mishit that into the middle of the field. Valverde pops it over the top. Pepe once again is there. Good tackle there on the outside by Carvalho.
Space here, though.
Fernandez goes the other way. Ronaldo wants it back, screaming, got his arms up. Ruben Neves. Neves trying to sneak in back door. Bruno Fernandes right back in the middle. It was offside. Wouldn't have counted. Wasn't going on target.
Yeah, he's clearly offside. It just goes too early. But that run from deep is difficult for a back line to pick up. And yeah, he's about 2 yards offside, which is poor because he can time that run. He's looking right down the defensive line to try to time that run better and stay onside.
As advertised, simultaneous play begins tomorrow. The United States trying to move on to the knockout round with a win, but our day begins in Group A. Netherlands against Qatar on Fox. Ecuador, Senegal on FS1. Coverage beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. 3 teams for 2 spots in Group A with Qatar eliminated. Remember Senegal 4 years ago? Only kept out of the knockout stage on the 7th tiebreaker, which was fair play points. A point value given for yellow and red cards as they lost their finale. Can Senegal overcome either the Netherlands or Ecuador this time around. Pepe blocks that cross out from Vecino, and a little bit of attacking momentum for the first time in a while for Uruguay.
They're going to take their time. Looks like they're going to shape up for a long throw here to try to put some pressure potentially from Oliveira. We've got Nunez, who's a big target on that near side to flick it on.
Trying to go short. They'll get another throw out of it.
Right in front of that small pocket of Uruguayan fans in the corner, because
there are not many here.
No, this stadium's what, 90% red Portuguese fans, you would guess, or as you said, Ronaldo fans.
Half an hour gone at Lusail iconic stadium. No score. And just the fourth all-time meeting between these nations, the last since the 2018 World Cup. In fact, just the second meeting in the last half century between them. Nunez brings it down. Cavani running off him. Cavani trying to return. Picked up on the outside. Oliveira for Cavani. Just trying to keep it upfield right now. 35th appearance for Cavani, second most in Uruguay's history, third most goals with 58. Can they get him a look? Challenge in the air there by Jimenez. Bouncing goal. Oliveira is challenging for. Nunez knocked it down. Uruguayan fans howl. No free kick coming. Godin on the ball, who is the appearance leader for Uruguay. Game 161 of his international career tonight. Challenge in the air by Mendes. Godin sends it the other way. Cavani knocks it down and knocks down Ruben Neves behind the play. Charging forward is Rodrigo Betancourt, waiting for the support to come. 1v3 doesn't need it. Betancourt's in, saved and held in the end by Diogo Costa.
Wow. What an individual goal that would have and should have been. Just such great individual skill and some poor defending mixed in, but he breaks from his own half here, drives at the back line. He's looking for the pass to his left. Nunez tries to drag one defender away, and then the onrushing Costa coming out, and I thought he was going to try to lift it over the top. Instead, he's trying to pass it through his legs, and it's off the ground and straight in the arms. Just the slightest little touch over the top. A little bit more composure here, and a chip. That's in the back of the net. It's 1-0 completely against the run of play. That's the part of Portugal's game that you saw the other night against Ghana. A lot of possession, a lot of chances, dominated the first half, and then just some individual mistakes at the back. That time, both your center backs get split there, 20 yards from goal. Very fortunate not to concede.
Betancourt only one career goal, and now his 53rd game for Uruguay. He's been scoring goals, though, this season for Tottenham, 5 of them after scoring 4 total goals his prior 7 years as a professional. Ronaldo does it himself and gives it away to Varela. Cavani had the run of Nunez, comes back in field. Now Portugal trying to break. Joao Felix on the ball. Bernardo Silva running off him. Bruno Mendes. Bruno Fernandes.
They've got numbers in the box. If they can get a good service here. Look, 4 Portuguese targets.
Well, Felix comes to get it. Cristiano Ronaldo. Blocked by a teammate. Bruno Fernandes looked like it was in the way. Joao Felix resets. Joao Felix deflected 2 deflections. Who'd have come off last? That'll be a goal kick.
A strike from distance from Ronaldo, and then this one from Felix in quick succession. Not a bad idea, though, to test that back line. Another look at that. Bentancur does sensational here. Chopping back, left foot, right foot, comes back on to the right foot, has a clear look. Mendes can't get there to make the challenge. Costa does well to come out and make himself big, and maybe put a little hesitation in the mind of Bentancur, who is potentially shaping up for that little chip, because he stayed up. He didn't go down too early and gift him that opportunity. So give credit to the save as well, but that's a bad miss. That one should be in the back of the net.
Technically the first shot on goal of the tournament for Uruguay. Bentancur again weaving his way through. He's feeling it, hands it off for Oliveira. The return cross. There's a chance for Bentancur. That was Nunez close to it as well, and ends up out.
You can see his frustration. Two good chances in quick succession, and what they've done well is that when those gaps open and they have the ball, they're facing the Portuguese defense, they turn the ball over, they're playing quickly, vertically, pushing them back, quick chances, crosses in the box. That one comes in, takes a little deflection, and almost actually fell to the feet of Darwin Nunez at the end of that. And you see here Diogo Costa just saying, hey, we've been playing out of the back a little bit, went under some pressure. Everybody just squeeze up, and I'm going to lump this one long. Let's play off a second ball and put the ball back in Uruguay's half, and then Cancelo comes back to get it. Now he goes long.
Some good swings of momentum here, though, even though we don't have a ton of goal-scoring action.
Well, Uruguay made it pretty clear they don't want too much of the ball. Or, I'm sure they'd like a lot of ball, they just can't get a lot of the ball. Portugal so comfortable in possession, so technically good, spread the field so well, unpredictable. Here comes Nuno Mendes, he can fly.
Mendes speeding Godin to that one. Back inside of the middle. Bruno Fernandes blocks. Quantes got his body in the way. Bernardo Silva swings it wide. João Cancelo lifting the cross up. Ronaldo down off the chest. Ronaldo was blocked by the onrushing goalkeeper Rochet and cleared wide.
Well, Jimenez misjudges this one, and it falls right on the chest of Ronaldo, but they did a good job coming out quickly, Rochet, and the center backs as well, clearing their lines. That had a long way. That's poor defending from Jimenez to get beat on that when he could see it the whole way, and just positioning was too far inside.
Oliveira is not going to let it get out to João Cancelo. Montes under some pressure, able to find Darwin Nunez. Holds off the challenge of Neves. Nunez running along. Gets it along for Varela. Varela is pulled down. Free kick coming for Uruguay, and their bench is going ballistic. They will get the yellow card they wanted off of Ruben Neves.
That's a great break, and who's at the heart of it again? It's Darwin Nunez. A great pass initially out of the back. Quick pass forward, 30 yards, takes out the entire midfield of Portugal, but then just his strength, driving at the back line, gets the ball out wide, comes across the field, gets it to Varela, and then he just jumps inside his man and is clever to feel a bit of contact and goes down. And it's going to be a set-piece opportunity with Valverde to serve it in here.
Valverde created both of Uruguay's best scoring chances. Had one shot that came off the post. The other was a corner that Godin nodded off the post in the scoreless draw with South Korea. Provided the game-winning assist in the UEFA Champions League final in May for Real Madrid. And now stands over this one, the later stages of the first half. Diogo Costa, one save already tonight, just sort of bouncing around in front of his goal right now as Salaresa Fagani, the referee, manages all that pushing and shoving, and he's going to continue to...
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies tight together, right? See all the Uruguayan attackers really clump. Sometimes you see them spread out, and it forces the back line to spread out. So I wonder if they're going to try to just create and run bodies into each other. Maybe somebody spins around the back. Valverde lifted in, comes all the way through.
Wenger there to pick it up, right back into the middle, stabbed away. Carvalho there with a clearing touch, and it's retreated all the way to Rochet. Oliveira on the run. Back heel was well anticipated and just knocked away by João Cancelo as
Mendes is down.
Mendes came in as an injury concern. Did not dress for undisclosed reasons in the opener against Ghana. He replaced Rafael Guerreiro, their normal starting left back, for this game tonight.
And the body language is not good, that's for sure. That's painting a picture of frustration and disappointment. We'll have to see, and his teammates consoling him as well. But Fernando Santos was pretty quick to look down his bench, and
he was coming in off a hamstring injury in October. All of the reports in the last few days didn't specify if it was precisely that same injury that was still bugging him. But as you said, the emotion of a 20-year-old making his World Cup debut, forced off, it would appear, before halftime.
that doesn't show you what it means to represent your country in a World Cup, of a young player that's achieved his dream, and just such disappointment of having to come out so early. He's straight down the tunnel. He's going to get checked out by the training staff, and that's a shame to see. And they'll evaluate that over the coming days, see how serious that potentially is. But in comes a pretty experienced player in Rafael Guerreiro of Borussia Dortmund, who started the first game for Portugal.
And who presumably they were hoping to give a night off to tonight.
Yeah.
So he comes out late in the first half. That's one substitution, as we talked about, one window as well used by Portugal. Gives them a little bit less flexibility going into the second half, as that one will run all the way out, meant for Varela. Uruguay's going to push their numbers up here. Got to trap Portugal in their own half, as Guerreiro's first touch is to throw it in.
It's also something, John, with that sub that we talked about the other night with Mexico. They had to burn one of their substitution windows here in the first half.
Varela has it as Uruguay win it back. Varela's cross in. That was meant for Cavani. Varela couldn't guide that to a teammate. Bruno Fernandes thought he was fouled a moment ago. Was fouled then.
Foul. Verde was going to make sure he got him down.
Interesting. It's actually Uruguay's first foul in about 25 minutes. They had 7 fouls committed in 17 early. They set a tone, and we've been largely playing for a while since. How do you view this thing overall right now?
It looked like Portugal were going to break through. They were dominating that first half of this first half. But Uruguay have found some moments which they had struggled to do in that first part of breaking pressure, counterattacking, bringing Nunez into the game. I think it actually all stemmed off the confidence and momentum that they had of that run from Bentancur. And then towards the end of this half, Uruguay finished strong. So pushed their way back into this game a little bit, and have given Portugal a little bit more to think about on the defensive side, as they were starting to throw 9 guys all the way forward into the attack. And it's now allowed Uruguay to step further up the field and get some pressure again, which they hadn't for that 20-25 minute spell.
What about a handball in that sequence, and it will be whistled. Well, Felix wanted it quickly.
Oh, he's going to get a yellow.
It's going to be a yellow there. Oliveira knew it was going to be taken quickly, so he put his body in front of it. And gets it back. And Felix comes to get it. Pepe looking long. Bruno Fernandes trying to sneak in there. Contes wins the header. Neves brings it down. We will have 3 added minutes here at the end of this first half. Fernandes, good turn off the throw. Early cross blocked. And that'll be out for a corner. It did just spin inside the corner flag. 4th corner for Ronaldo and Portugal. Bruno Fernandes to take. Out-swinging ball in at the near post. That was Oliveira alert. Neves taken off it, pokes it away, and cleared. Diego Costa with the biggest play of this one so far. That one-on-one save on Rodrigo Bentancur in the 32nd minute. That's an offside flag on Ronaldo. Made history with that penalty kick on Thursday. First man ever to score at 5 World Cups. 2 women have done it. Marta of Brazil, Christine Sinclair. Pepe. Some work to do there as Nunez was tracking him the whole way. Costa gets it clear. Bentancur holds it in. Way through. First half stoppage time. Bentancur again. Strong header win. Nunez trying to steer it wide to Varela. Knocked away by Guerrero. Carvalho takes the bump. Uruguay 10 fouls committed. Portugal 2. Give you a little bit of a sense of how this one has gone. Uruguay have held the ball for just 27% of the time. Portugal wanted a foul on the outside there. João Cancelo went down. There's no call. About 30 seconds to go in this half. Portugal outshot Uruguay 9-4. 1 shot on target each. João Felix. Carvalho wants it back. Dummy to long. Rafael Guerrero. His cross in. Too far for Ronaldo. Too far for João Cancelo.
Right idea, though. Right idea from Guerrero. It's the right type of ball. It ends up just being a bit too high. He's trying to fire this across with just power to beat the goalkeeper, not allow Rochet to come off and get it. And we end scoreless at the half.
We'll send you back to Rob Stone in our studio down south of us at the Corniche in Doha. 45 minutes down, 45 to go at Lusail. No score between Portugal and Uruguay.
The 2022 FIFA World Cup halftime show on Fox is presented by Verizon. It is the stat that keeps on giving. Now 17 of our 32 games have gone to the break scoreless. Rob Stone here with you, and coming up on the Verizon halftime show, we're going to break down that first half. We'll show you how Brazil punched their ticket to the next round, and we'll also get you ready for the U.S.'s all-important group stage finale tomorrow against Iran. Portugal fighting for a win that would see them through, but it's zeros on the board at the break.
Ah, humbug. My signal is totally ghosting me.
You need a better network. 'Tis the season to switch to Verizon. They'll give you the new iPhone 14 Pro.
Amazing phone.
Plus, Verizon gives you another Apple gift, too, like Apple Watch SE, iPad, Beats Fit Pro.
Oh, for me.
No, Scrooge.
This Cyber Monday, get our best deal of the year. Only Verizon gives you the new iPhone 14 Pro, plus an Apple gift like Apple Watch SE, iPad, and Beats Fit Pro, all on us. That's a value of up to $1,900. Verizon.
Take it all the way to the end.
I got icing on my phone. Stop shopping. I still need to find a bike, golf balls, a baseball bat.
You won't find it on that site. Go to Dix.com.
Dix.com. Why did I not think of that?
They got all the sports.
And 1 hour pickup.
That's amazing.
You mean like this?
You made that?
Oh, yes, I did.
You girls can learn a lot from Charles.
It is quite handsome.
Well, I didn't know we could do our faces.
Right?
Every holiday.
FIFA World Cup with the end of this match tonight. No changes for either side. Rafael Guerreiro came in as an injury replacement to Nuno Mendes in the first half for Portugal. And Ronaldo takes an early foul, the 11th of the game, committed by Uruguay. 2 players on the field, Oliveira and Bentancur on yellow cards. Ruben Neves was shown yellow for Portugal. Coates there.
Yeah, Coates with a knee to the back of the calf of Ronaldo after he'd had a nice little flick around the corner.
And Portugal can clinch their spot in the next round with a win. Uruguay can't be eliminated, but it does change the calculus significantly for what they need from their final game. If they can get a win, even a draw, would mean they don't have to be concerned with the other game in the group come the conclusion of Group H on Friday. Fernandez trying to track that over his shoulder. Oliveira was battling in there. Throws his body in on Bernardo Silva, gets hauled down, and it'll be a free kick.
It's been a physical game, really. At times, as we talked about in the first half, it was pretty scrappy in the middle of the field, and both teams getting really stuck into each other. We had a number of turnovers, we had a number of fouls, and I think our referee did a good job of setting that tone, dishing out a couple of cards, and we didn't see as many as Carvalho's done a good job getting some pressure on the ball for Portugal to win it back now in the attacking part of the field.
João Felix. And no look that one in for Guerreiro. Took a touch on the way through. It will be a corner. Fifth of the game for Portugal. Ruben Neves off the short corner, sends it in. Sent away by Valverde. Now can Uruguay break? Cavani couldn't really do much with that as Ruben Neves was right on top of him. And then Neves takes the hit as he releases the pass, as does João Felix. Oliveira, who's on a yellow card, had the second one.
It's Vecino with the first one, and it looks like for now
Neves is still down
in the pocket.
Ruben Neves is still down. And it was interesting, Alireza Fugazi, the referee, came across to Oliveira pointing at his whistle like, hey, you gotta, you know, I blew my whistle. You think he cares? He's not listening for a whistle. All right, Mark Clattenburg will bring you back in. What are you looking at right now? How do you feel about where this game is at from a refereeing perspective?
Yeah, he's come back out for the second half. How it started in the first half, he needs to clamp down on these foul challenges, because for me, that one on Ruben Neves should have been a yellow card. He's kneed him in the back of the leg. That can give a player a dead leg. For me, that was a chance to stamp his authority on the second half and give a yellow card.
Did not to do so, and some concern now for Fernando Santos in Portugal. Already forced into one injury substitution. You can make 5 substitutions, but you get 3 windows. And so if they have to replace Neves here, Portugal, the rest of the night, can only once more make substitutions. So you can do 3 at a time if you want, but that really limits how they can affect and change the game the rest of the way.
Oh, it's really that knee to the back of the calf. And you're hoping that that's dead leg type scenario, but he's really struggling to put any type of pressure through that left leg right now.
Well, they already lost Otavio, who was a starter. He had an injury issue that forced him out of the lineup tonight. That's why William Carvalho's in there, and now Neves is struggling a bit. So Vecino gets away with nothing, and fourth official Abdul Rahman Al Jassim of Qatar getting barked at a little bit there by Neves as play is restarted. Neves coming back out, still moving very gingerly though. And the play will be stopped here. We have someone who has come onto the field. Ronaldo off the chest, terrific first touch. Bernardo Silva on the run, options either side. Joao Felix has it now. Joao Felix into the outside netting, and Bruno Fernandes furious that that cross didn't come to him.
Well, yeah, and also when he gets this ball into his path, that first touch across his body, it takes him too wide to then where he loses the angle. So look where he's shooting from now. He's got the Jimenez tracking back. He's covered the far post, so it means that Felix has to come to this near post and ends up hitting the side netting and lost any chance to even aim for the far post or square it across for a runner that he had at the back post. So missed opportunity there. What was a great break initially by Ronaldo, laying it off for Bernardo Silva. And finally, Portugal had a moment in transition, which we really hadn't seen them open up this Uruguayan defense.
10th shot of the night for Portugal. The only one counted as a shot on goal. Somewhat generous that it was counted as a shot on goal. It was a Ronaldo flick earlier that ended up in the hands of Sergio Rochet. Pepe intercepted quickly for Nunez. Lays it back inside for Valverde. He's got Varela advancing up the right, but he was well covered by Guerrero. So Valverde sends it in himself, and that's an easy catch for Diego Costa. Silva hands it wide for Rafael Guerrero and for Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes clipping that in. Ronaldo's there, and it's in anyway. Portugal get their breakthrough.
Well, he seems to think he got a touch on it, and we'll find out if he does. It was a great-looking ball from Bruno Fernandes into Cristiano Ronaldo, who was the only man in the box for Portugal. As this one goes wide, Godin just can't get pressure on the ball. You actually see there, kept onside at the top of your screen. And we'll get a better look here on this next replay. Does Cristiano Ronaldo get a touch? Still not sure, but it's in the back of the net. Great looking ball, the best type of cross that's going in anyways. And just Ronaldo even being there just stuns Rochet, where then I don't think he does. I don't think he gets on touch on that. I don't see a change in the direction of the ball. He's going to claim it, that's for sure.
I mean, that's a hairspray goal, if anything.
Yes, yeah.
It's Ronaldo's as it stands. It's Portugal's all the while. Flag comes up for offside on Ronaldo.
It's a great ball in, though, from Bruno Fernandes, because he gets that ball off his foot so quickly, and the timing of the run from Cristiano Ronaldo to then initiated the pass from Fernandes to pick him out.
Well, they've just in the stadium announced it as a Bruno Fernandes goal. Our statistics monitor in front of us still has it as Ronaldo's. And they can go back and look at it even later. Remember when Wales won that World Cup qualifying playoff with Ukraine? That Gareth Bale free kick that was turned in by a Ukrainian defender was a couple days later was given to Bale. Ronaldo once more tackled off him. It took too long to make a decision there. Ronaldo feeling it. Pocket pick there by Darwin Nunez as he was lining up, and Ronaldo's down behind the play. Nunez carries forward. Cavani the only one with him. Ruben Diaz to defend. Ronaldo's on the ground behind the play. Early cross, no one there.
Well, it was good work from Darwin Nunez coming back to get a challenge on Cristiano Ronaldo, who was trying to shoot from about 40 yards out. And you see there, it's a clean challenge, and Ronaldo actually ends up kicking into the back of his heel. Just to show you that he was kept onside by Varela at the top of the screen, comfortably as well. He was late to step out, as was the entire Uruguayan back line. Yeah, I don't see him getting a touch on that. That's Bruno Fernandez's goal. But without Ronaldo being there and challenging for that, it's probably saved. Well, it is comfortably saved by Rochet. He just catches it. So even him challenging for that forces the goalkeeper just to freeze for a half second, because now he has to anticipate that Ronaldo's going to head it, and it just nestles into that far corner.
Varela quickly forward, looking for Cavani. Boy, that was the look. Found the space on Pepe. Scored a goal very similar to that in the meeting between the teams 4 years ago.
Watch his movement. Watch his movement. He's on the back shoulder of Pepe. Then he comes inside him, and he has him so beat that I think he can take that first touch across his body. He created a good yard of separation there and opts for the higher degree of difficulty just to take that one out of the air on the full volley and just scuffs it across goal. That's a big missed opportunity right back the other end for Edinson Cavani.
Mark Clattenburg, a rules analyst, making the point, part of the semi-automated offside technology, and you saw that look. There is a chip in the ball. They can scientifically get a pretty good sense of whether Ronaldo did touch that and redirect it or not. Again, our stats monitor still has it as Ronaldo's goal. Here they come for more. William Carvalho wide for João Cancelo. One way or the other, it's Portugal clinching their spot in the next round. It's Uruguay who are in a real tough spot into the knockout stage each of the last 3 World Cups. They're going to have a lot of work to do in their finale Friday with Ghana as this stands. We would need to win and probably need Portugal to beat South Korea to avoid getting in a dicey goal differential situation. That would be the simplest way to go about it.
It's been such a passive approach, though, from Uruguay. We wondered what it would look like playing with this back three for them, something they haven't done in a year and a half. The first time under a new coach in Diego Alonso, and it looks about as you would expect it to look. They've struggled on the counterattack. Here's Nunez. He's been the only bright spot for them.
Hold on, Pepe. Darwin Nunez on the deck. Comfortable second save of the game, Diogo Costa. Sino fighting through. Valverde forced wide by Guerrero. Bentancur, best chance of the game for Uruguay tonight. That first half one-on-one save. Bentancur once again has numbers up there. Fuentes will retreat it. Bentancur. Oliveira, nowhere to go. There once more from Bentancur. Oliveira, Nunez got slowed up there. Bentancur rolled across. Valverde wide for Varela. Sustained pressure for Uruguay. Can they create a chance out of it? Jimenez got the cross in. Uruguay making changes, but Luis Suarez not one of them just yet. Pelistri and Diaz-Queta preparing to come on. We are less than 24 hours away now. The United States against Iran, must-win territory for the U.S. as Betancourt wins that ball away quickly. Nunez might have popped up on his hand and did. It'll be tomorrow here on Fox, 1 p.m. Casino has his night end after about a half hour. Looks like Diego Godin as well. Diaz-Queta making his debut at this World Cup. Pelistri started their opening match.
And that is a young-looking face. Yes, he's 20 years old into the game, but these are two more attacking players now, and I would imagine also a change in shape you're going to see for Uruguay. It's already like more of a 4-4-2. Diaz-Queta is going to come on this near left-hand side. Pelistri on that far right, and they're going to play more. Here comes Valverde. Oh, boy.
Got to it. It's still in play. Pepe needs a second attempt to get it clear. Diaz-Queta there. Looked it behind the play was Betancourt and a big shout, but no foul. Betancourt showing for it. Flips it up towards Pelistri. Guerrero's header comes back in the middle of the field. Diaz-Queta heading along. Pepe was alert to send it away.
This becomes the part of the game now. Here's the clearance, the way which it did to this near sideline. But getting back to the point of, this is the point of the game we've seen coaches really change the game through subs. Now interesting next couple of minutes how it looks.
João Felix gets it away. Rafael Guerreiro crossing in towards Ronaldo. Popped in the air. João Felix flying through and trying to reset for Cavallo. Diaz-Queta dumbing that to himself. Rolled down the line behind Nunez. Trying to get back to it on Pepe, and it's just playing safe and out by Ruben Diaz.
Well, the goal has really ramped up the intensity of this game now. Uruguay pushing, desperation. He's going to be onside at the end of this one. Cristiano Ronaldo pops in a dangerous area. Felix trying to get a touch on it as well. Ends up coming off the calf there and cleared.
And to circle back one final time, it has now been changed officially on the monitor in front of us. Bruno Fernandes getting the goal in the 54th minute. First career goal for him at his second World Cup. 12th of his international career. Long it goes. Pelistri trying to bring it down on Guerreiro. Darwin Nunez. A little bit of a stumble, able to keep it. Pelistri has it again. Cavani making the big run. Pelistri running in at Guerreiro to the byline. The cross in. Late header. And cleared away by Neves as Oliveira snuck in on the backside.
What a difference having a player like Pelistri on that right side and Diaz-Queta here on this left-hand side. Guys 1v1 positive with some possession finally, Uruguay, and some width, because they were getting their fullbacks pinned so deep they weren't able to have any type of presence and create an advantage in the wide areas in the attacking part of the field. All of a sudden now you've got two guys that are willing to take on players and forcing Portugal to defend a little bit. They're going to end up getting this one wide again. Here they come.
Great work by Quantes to start this. Pelistri has it now, running at Guerreiro, and he just runs out of room with the extra touch.
It's an area of concern, though, for Portugal, because if you're 1v1 all the time, Pelistri's getting Guerreiro caught flat-footed. He was beat. It just ends up being a heavy touch that goes out. This was the other one. He beats him again. This was the first time, stands it up to the back post. Oliveira comes inside, beats his man. And then Neves is able to clear that one without any type of pressure on the backside from Cavani. But that's been a good response last couple of minutes here from Uruguay.
Who are not playing for their lives, but they might as well be, because again, it would take things really going their way, not least of which beating Ghana, who have shown to be a very resilient team. They made Portugal work in that 3-2 defeat. South Korea made them work, but Ghana got the 3-2 win earlier today. It's Uruguay's final opponent. They would need to win that one and make sure the result of the other game goes well enough for them to leapfrog up into the knockout stage. Pepe comes sideways. Guerrero was alert to it. Ben Kerr, Arrascaeta out jump by João Cancelo. Second ball well won by Valverde. Palistri able to control. Ben Kerr in between Arrascaeta and Nunez. Ronaldo's flick. Bruno Fernandes, game-winning goal scorer as it stands. Great turn. Bernardo Silva tried to return it. The last time Portugal won their first 2 games at a World Cup was the last time they reached the semi-final. That was 2006. Last time Uruguay were winless in their first 2 was the last time they went out of the group stage. That was 2002. Flip long. That's too long by Bruno Fernandes for João Felix. And
frustration from his coach, because there's going to be moments now where the game is going to open up for Portugal on the attacking part of the field. If they can play quick in transition when Uruguay are pouring numbers into the attack, pushing forward a little bit, but it's about decision making at that point, and there's going to be room to run. I wouldn't be surprised to see some fresh legs for them going the other way to add some quality. You don't want to let the level drop as well in your pressure on the ball.
Rafael Leão. It's set to come on as he came off the bench to score in his World Cup debut on Thursday. Ruben Neves, who took a hard knock earlier in this half, his night is done. Neves also playing on a yellow card for that matter. Portugal can make 3 more subs, but only in 1 more window. Cavani returns it to Arrascaeta. A great first touch on Pepe. Cavani trying to reset, cleared away under pressure by Ruben Diaz.
Got Leão at the top of the screen, just on the field.
Bruno Fernandes inside for Ronaldo, trying to sweep it along. He was held onside. Rafael Leão, first touch since coming on. Rafael Leão draws it in, weaves it around, resets it backwards. Bruno Fernandes was screaming for it, top of the box there. In the end, he just loses it, and now Uruguay are running the other way. Carvalho tried to stop the attack, as was João Cancelo. Pepe knows how to stop an attack, and it was a clean tackle as well on Darwin Nunez. And here we go the other direction. Cristiano Ronaldo. Edge of the area goes down.
Just let him play.
Alireza Fagani. Just letting him go right now. Arrascaeta now. You know what this game needs is some Luis Suarez, and he's about to come on. Arrascaeta returns it inside. Palistri, Arrascaeta. No one in the middle but João Cancelo. Headed back in there. Cavani was in the area, cleared away.
Oh boy, this game has ramped it up, hasn't it, John? Last couple of minutes here, end to end, and look, the referee, Ronaldo won't like that call there. He was consistent in 3 straight calls on both ends. First the one on Leão, then at the other end on Nunez, and finally on Ronaldo, and it's allowed this game to open up, which isn't what Portugal want at this point. And you want some chaos? Not if you're a Portugal fan. You do if you're a Uruguayan fan.
Or a neutral. Maxi Gomez will join him. Not just yet, though, apparently.
Well, they're getting some good looks, Uruguay, in the wide areas, most specifically down their right-hand side. Rafael Guerrero has not been able to handle 1v1 Palistri. So they're continuing to go back to that well, and they're working, they're getting good angles, they're getting crossed in the box, just not picking out a white shirt. Suarez is going to be another number in that box, and his movement is very good.
Nunez able to turn 1v4, crowded off it. Good defensive work there by Bernardo Silva that he gives it away, and then it's miscontrolled out by Oliveira. Darwin Nunez is the player taken off. Edison Cavani's going to be the other. I don't think the Uruguay fans are thrilled about that.
Well, I'm wondering if that was the wrong number put up. Looks like they're changing it.
That's the one they already did, 11 for 9.
Oh, it is Cavani, wow. He seemed pretty stunned. So 2 changes through the middle for Diego Alonso. Both of his strikers off. And the life of a striker, you didn't produce, you didn't score. Going for some fresh legs and some fresh energy and a colorful character.
So you go from number 2 in the all-time goal-scoring list to number 1. Cavani forgot to give his captain's armband to anyone. And Luis Suarez is on the field, 68 career goals. Maxi Gomez as well, the age of 26. Did not play in the opener. Has had a pretty quiet season this fall playing in Turkey. But they're trying to find a way through Uruguay. Rafael Leao was trying to find where that ball was in the air. Suarez's first touch. Oliveira battling with Bruno Fernandes there. Ronaldo a little bit of a late run. Bencur, long run. Gets a throw out of it. There again, charging it inside. Portugal, as it stands, clinching their spot in the next round with a game still to go. Joining France and Brazil as having done so. Uruguay, as it stands, are going to be really up against it in their finale to try to avoid going out of the group stage. Pelistri couldn't split it through. Going to fall in the end for Gomez. Forced backwards. Valverde resets. Pelistri. Gomez! Off the post!
Woo. That ball was cooking.
And Suarez chopped down. At least he thought he was. No foul. Ronaldo the flick for Bruno Fernandes. To find the back of the net, and it's Bernardo Silva on the run. Ronaldo making the big run in the middle. Bernardo Silva's cross blocked and last out off of him.
I've been so impressed in Pelistri off the bench. What a different dynamic element he's provided to this Uruguayan team. Just his ability to take the ball between the lines, laid this one off, and Gomez, he thinks he scored. Look at him. He's running away. He's starting to celebrate, and then it comes off the wrong side of the post for and bounces away. To take that first time, too, great contact, stayed over the top of it, wrapped his foot around the side of it, and he had Costa completely beaten there.
Bruno Fernandes' cross meant for Cristiano Ronaldo that bounced in on its own. That's the difference right now as Portugal is set to clinch their spot in the next round in front of just less than 89,000 fans. They just announced the attendance here at Lusail Iconic Stadium, which will be home to the final as well. Just less than 3 weeks' time, as that one's too far for Oliveira. Diego Alonso. It's important to remember he took over this job less than a year ago. They were a mess in qualifying. They were on the outside looking in with 4 games to go. They've only lost once in 10 games with him as the coach. That's going to be a Joao Felix yellow card as Suarez went down and Uruguay get a free kick. Uruguay came out on fire this year. They have looked terrific, getting things back on track under Diego Alonso, the former Inter Miami head coach in MLS. Can they find a way back in this game? Norjan Darazketa.
It's another situation, John, where you're going to watch him try to bend this towards the back post. You treat it like a shot. You have guys crashing in front of the net with flick or deflection. If not, it goes in the back post.
Diego Costa with 2 saves already. That one-on-one stop on Bentancur was the best, and just had one rattle off his left post. Darazketa looking right in there. It's loose. It's the outside netting. Luis Suarez there. Half the fans thought that was in.
Well, it ends up coming low and hard, but it's that type of trajectory, and it then settles on a deflection right at the feet of the man. In this situation, you would want it to. Luis Suarez, he just can't turn his body enough to shape the strike on goal. He's trying to go for that near post. Does so well just to cushion that down, and takes it just a half second too early to where he just can't fully turn his body and get it on frame. Wow, what a good look.
Give Uruguay credit. They're out shooting Portugal 5-2 in this second half. Now the goal against came. It wasn't meant to be a shot. They've been pushing the game ever since. Valverde on the run. Numbers flying forward. Darazketa into the middle. It's loose. And Diego Costa able to react to the loose ball.
He's just trying to chip it over the top of him, but doesn't get the technique right. What a great ball. Valverde, my goodness, his running, you see this week in, week out at Real Madrid, and just drives the team forward, so powerful. And then the vision. Even just on that second look, I'm wondering if he's trying to square that back across instead of shooting with more of a blind ball, and he looked and just mis-executed there. Caught in 2 minds. Do you go for goal? Do you not?
Bruno Fernandes. Joao Felix.
Portugal on the ropes a little bit. They've got to keep some of that possession to slow down some of that momentum from Uruguay.
Because they could be dragged right back into the chaos for the final match day. Rafael Leao is pressured off the ball. Some of these Portuguese players aren't exactly sprinting to get back, and the cavalry will come over the hill right now. They're going to use their final window for their final 3 substitutions, Portugal. Darazketa on Guerrero, who blocked the back heel as Varela was flying up the outside.
Look, the scenario of the game has changed, but watching Uruguay in this 4-4-2 versus the back 3 that was completely ineffective makes you wonder why they didn't go with that from the start, because that's what they know best.
Varela around the outside. Well sent away by Ruben Diaz. Listri couldn't hold it in. Rafael Leao couldn't get it all the way out. Varela, though, misplaced the pass. Carvalho was there. Paulinho is 1. He played the other night. Gonzalo Ramos. We saw him in the opener. Nunes will make his World Cup debut. Those are the 3 subs in the wings for Portugal. Uruguay win it back. Varela wide, his cross in. That was Suarez making the late run. João Cancelo, now they're arguing that was a foul because he got bulldozed there, but it is out for a corner.
But what a terrific defensive header. Down the right again for Uruguay. Great ball comes in from Varela, beats the first man in Diaz, and that's just pure positioning there from the fullback. Keeps his body open, attacks it, doesn't wait for it and allow Luis Suarez to get in front of him, and clears it away, but it's going to be a corner.
They're going to hold the subs on the defensive corner. In it comes, sent away by Bruno Fernandes. Inside of 10 minutes to go in Lusail, just north of Doha. And here come the changes. João Felix, his night is done. Cristiano Ronaldo thought for a while he had goal 119 of his international career. It wasn't meant to be. William Carvalho, the other, who will be withdrawn.
Great ball in from Bruno Fernandes. Ronaldo goes up, attacks it. A little slow-mo to show you that he didn't get a touch on it. He claimed it. Eventually, it was given to Bruno Fernandes, but he was a handful in the box. Constantly working, constantly asking for the ball, challenging for balls, hold-up play. Didn't get a goal in the night. And ultimately makes way now for some fresh legs in the attacking part of the field.
Yes, Creta picking the pocket of Guerrero. The cross sent away by Pepe. They did count that as a shot on goal that Diar's Chiesa run in that was pushed away by Diego Costa. So 3 saves for him tonight. The goalkeeper for Portugal, just his 9th international appearance at the age of 23. Is who's an Oz there. Oliveira was sent flying by Bernardo Silva, who has it back. Rafael Leao holds off one, weaves past another. Rafael Leao, and it didn't miss by a ton, but it missed by enough. For Uruguay to rescue a point. They would still have to beat Ghana, but they wouldn't need to worry about the other result. If they lose this one, they have to win, and they have to at least be mindful of the other result in a potential goal differential tie-breaking scenario if they want to go through. Portugal, as it stands, have clinched a spot in the next round. Well, Cancelo. Portugal grab a second. Themselves some breathing space here under a lot of pressure since that 54th minute goal. Fernandes just turns inside, trying to play the angle in. He almost kept his feet. Nunes weaving through. Bernardo Silva once again. Poked away eventually by Valverde, who tracked back. Cancelo came off his back. Suarez just plays it into space. Pellistri the speed, but he missed time to jump. Good little chop back there by Guerrero to keep it. As Nunes spins his way inside, ends up giving it away. Alenia crashing through. It's Bentancur that's fouled. Matias Vinha will be the final substitution for Uruguay in a moment. Are you staying home from work tomorrow? Are you taking the kids out of school for that one? 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Man alive, that's going to be something. And here comes the final change, just to swap at left back. Oliveira is replaced by Matias Vinha. We're running out of time.
You already told me your son's skipping school.
He is.
Am I getting him in trouble with his teachers now?
We are keeping the boy at home. His teacher can yell at me if she wants. Uruguay are going to throw numbers up here. Played short and wide. Bentancur into the middle. Valverde tees it up, and that's into the stands. This is not how they thought it was going to go here in Qatar. This is what everyone wearing red, of course, was hoping for. It's a foul. Bentancur went down. Had that wonderful opportunity, 32nd minute. Dribbled his way through 3 Portuguese defenders. Diego Costa came flying out to make the block, one of 3 saves he's made tonight. Well, Luis Suarez was actually in between defenders there. He wanted that cross to come in. Pellistri held on to it. This is Vinha just come on the field. Cancelo steps in to poke it away. Pepe gets rid of it. At the start of the age of 39 because of injury. Fernandez, really more than anything else there, is just trying to prevent Uruguay from getting the ball back in play quickly. Great angle found there by Coates for Viña. Cross was blocked by João Cancelo. Ball's not going to get out. Bruno Fernandes had to play it, flipped along by Bernardo Silva. This is Gonzalo Ramos on the run. Just his third ever international appearance at the age of 21. Able to get his team upfield. Bruno Fernandes already has one goal. He was trying to nutmeg his way through. He's shouting for a handball. We play on, and that shot was blocked from Bernardo Silva. Paulinho resets. And Portugal, classic clock killing, out for a corner.
Well, he went for the nutmeg on Jimenez, and boy, it does hit his hand, doesn't it, as it goes through there.
Ruben Diaz shown a yellow card for arguing. Mark Clattenburg, you just had the one quick look at it, but give us your thought.
Yeah, the ball definitely hits the arm, but what he's trying to do is he's using that arm to go to the ground for balance, and that's why the ball hits the hand. So that's why the referee would have played on, because when you're using your arm down on the ground to keep your balance, it would very rare given as a penalty.
They get a corner out of it, and they're wasting a lot of time. Right now, what they're trying to do is stall in hope that our video assistant referee, Abdullah Almari of Qatar, is going to give them a penalty, and they are checking. All right, well, this is interesting.
So have a look at it, yeah. Yes, Mark, I'm interested here because while I know he's using it for balance there essentially, but is he not blocking a clear goal-scoring opportunity there? I mean, Bruno Fernandes is clearly in behind.
Yeah.
And that, he would have been one-on-one with the keeper.
What he's trying to do is he's fallen backwards. He's trying to block the ball with his foot. It's gone through his legs. The arm is in behind. And as the arm is going down to the ground, the hand touches the arm. But very rare now, the referee, when he goes to the monitor, will change his decision. So therefore, I expect a penalty to be given. I don't agree with it, but I'm sure that the referee will change his mind, because I've never seen when they've gone to the on-field monitor to accept to change the decision.
And that's exactly what happens. Alireza Fagani gives the penalty. And no Ronaldo to take it.
Yeah. He'd love to get sub back in to take it.
Gonzalo Ramos, what he's doing is he's standing over the top of the penalty spot in an attempt to prevent a Uruguayan player, I think, from stomping on it and sort of roughing it up. It's exactly what they're protecting the spot. What's the point of scuffing up the penalty spot?
Well, you're trying to scuff it up so that around where a guy's going to put his plant foot, that he slips. And you just try to soften up that grass there. That's there's a word for that I can't use on air, but gamesmanship is on the darker arts.
There you go. Gamesmanship, darker arts. Perfect.
Yeah.
Penalty takers 3 out of 5 overall to this World Cup. They put up 9 added minutes. We've not played any of that so far. It might be academic unless Sergio Rochet can come up with a save. And Bruno Fernandes, it was his goal, an attempted cross for Ronaldo. It separates the teams right now. This is somewhat more of a deliberate attempt.
He's a penalty taker, typically waits for the goalkeeper to move and then tries to play it the other way.
He had 2 assists in their opening win. Can he have 2 goals tonight for Portugal? Yes!
Well, you're going to see the stutter step as Bruno Fernandes, who now has 2 goals, net, and stares him down at the end, right down the barrel, and says, "You're not saving that, my friend." Portugal had to work for it tonight. Uruguay gave him a good run back, hit the post, put some pressure, couldn't find the breakthrough. Portugal down the other end, win the penalty. It was Fernandes who did it. He won the penalty and then ultimately converts it to give Portugal that extra cushion and the 2-0 advantage.
It's his 2nd World Cup, Bruno Fernandes, but he found himself benched after their opening draw with Spain in Russia. Did not play against Uruguay in the round of 16. Found himself benched at the European Championship last year as well. 2 assists that he provides in the 3-2 win over Ghana on Thursday. 2 goals that he provides this evening in what as of now is a 2-0 win over Uruguay. And you might have noticed on that celebration just before Bruno Fernandes goes into that knee slide, he puts his hands over his ears. That's sort of his trademark goal celebration. He told an interview a couple of years ago that's in honor of his daughter. When she was an infant and Bruno and his wife would talk to her, she would cover her ears theatrically, as children sometimes do, and that has become his trademark goal celebration in honor of her. And it is Portugal right now who have clinched their spot in the next round with a game still to go and a couple of injury concerns for them and a couple of yellow card concerns for them, so they can rest bodies against South Korea on Friday on the west side of town in Education City. Uruguay, as it stands, they're going to need a win. They would love for Portugal to do them a favor by beating South Korea, or at least getting a draw out of that one. Their win over Ghana, in that case, would send them through. South Korea win over a maybe rotated, maybe not quite fully into it Portugal. Then it would come down to goal differential, which might get worse. Long run by Rafael Guerrero, couldn't get all the way through. And that'll be down south at Al Janoub, Uruguay and Ghana on Friday. Luis Suarez over the top. Maxi Gomez, that's great control on Pepe. Back in for Suarez, too far in front of him. How about that little running it out by Mateus Nunes? Jimenez, it was his handball that led to the penalty, sent flying behind him. And the Olays will come out.
It felt like Fernando Santos used his subs really well in this game in the second half to change that tide of momentum as Uruguay were pushing forward, and we talked about them building, couldn't find that breakthrough. Well, he brought on fresh bodies in the middle. He subbed off half of his front line. He brings on a new forward, Rafael Leao on the left, and it relieved some of that pressure. It got them up the field and just allowed them to tilt that back in their favor. So we talked about a lot about subs and how they've changed games with goals. This is an example of subs changing the way without the goals, but also just giving them back control of the game at the same time. Something Diego Alonso has struggled with off the bat. Poor choice in formation. Felt the pressure. They got a little bit back in return, but I think they've also just lacked some quality in the final third.
At least 2 minutes left to go here, and we will start the clock for the United States against Iran tomorrow. As Guerrero turns to the outside. Long run coming here Gonzalo Ramos. Narrow angle. Good save there in the end. Rochette there coming across. Bruno Fernandes looking for the hat trick.
Yeah, he wanted it. Great looking ball, good looking strike as well. And Rochette he's standing up and hoping, and it ends up being a good reaction. A kick save and a boot at the near post. And he's frustrated because he wanted that. He wanted that hat trick.
Remember when Portugal had the corner a few minutes ago and they didn't take it. They just waited and sat on it. For VAR could give him a penalty. All right, give us your thoughts. U.S.-Iran, a little teaser trailer. We're at the U.S. team hotel earlier today. Met with Greg Berhalter. We know the stakes. There's no good way to say it. There's a lot flying around this game right now. All over the place. That one just does stay in play. We're trying to talk U.S.-Iran, guys. There's a hat trick. No, it's off the post. Bruno Fernandes coming close again.
And still wants it. I mean, look at the look at the passion and just the competitive drive there for a guy that's pushing constantly and wanted to be on the score sheet. Gets good contact, comes back to that near post, and just a kiss and out for a corner. Look, I'm excited for this U.S.-Iran game. It's going to be a tricky game for them. Iran only need a draw. U.S. have to win. I expect them to have a lot of the ball, a lot of possession, defending against a deep Iranian team that will be playing very back, looking to play on counterattacks. And the U.S., look, they got to get some production up front. They've got one goal in the tournament. It was the goal from Tim Weah. That came in transition. But can they create chances? Can they get good movement in the box from the striker? Who's that striker going to be? We've seen Josh Sargent. We've seen Haji Wright. Is this Jesus Ferreira's time to shine? And I think it shapes up nicely for this young group that have performed very well in this tournament so far outside of a 30-minute spell against Wales. And I'm excited to see what they can do. I think they can get it done.
Very similar to 2010. I know we remember 2010 fondly. 90 minutes, 46 seconds, Landon Donovan. That was brutal for the rest of us. I don't know what it's like for you guys. It was awful to watch.
The payoff was great.
The end part was great.
The 90 minutes before wasn't.
Please don't do that again, guys. Let's make this boring tomorrow. It's going to be fun. Live right here on Fox. One of the questions we asked Greg Berhalter, does this game tomorrow ultimately end up defining all the last 4 years of hard work? We'll tell you that answer tomorrow. But that's the question. As we play 100 minutes here tonight, Portugal are joining France and Brazil in the knockout round here in Qatar. Bruno Fernandes, 2 assists opening day, 2 goals tonight. Uruguay not yet done, but they are hanging on by a thread going into their finale against Ghana on Friday. Cristiano Ronaldo, a wisp of hair away from adding to his international goal-scoring record. As we send you back to Rob Stone, back in the Corniche in Doha. It finishes up here in Lusail. Portugal 2, Uruguay 0.
FIFA World Cup today on Fox is presented by Google Pixel. Rob Stone back here with you, Lusail Stadium, the site. Portugal, for the 5th time in their history, they have advanced out of the group stage. They are now one of 3 nations that have already qualified for the knockout stage. They joined France and Brazil, who did it earlier today. Bruno Fernandes, given credit for both goals. Uruguay, just one of 3 nations here yet to score, joining Mexico and Tunisia. Luis Suarez, a slight factor coming in off the bench, but that's the man, Bruno Fernandes. First time since 2006 that someone other than Ronaldo took a World Cup PK for Portugal. Fernandes buried it in stoppage time. Portugal all alone atop of Group H. They're on 6 points. Ghana is sitting there in 2nd place now on 3. South Korea in 3rd, and Uruguay right now in last place in Group H. Fan celebrations sponsored by Google Pixel. 14 goals scored today. That's the largest single-day output at this tournament. 2 of them courtesy of Portugal. We'll be back to wrap up the day next.
number 3 means perfection. It's a party, not a crowd. In some places on Earth, it even evokes the divine. The BMW 3 Series, an icon that lives on like never before. Choose between the advanced and dynamic 330i, the adrenaline-inducing M340i, or the electrified 330e. It really is a magic number. The 3.
Christmas ends tonight.
Violent Night is an instant holiday classic.
If you want war, my guys are the deadliest killers money can buy.
Well, they can't be that great. I mean, I already killed 2 of them.
It's Die Hard meets Home Alone.
I can't thank you enough, Mr.
Claus. But please call me Santa.
Violent Night, rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
Viene! Now it's the time to shop Walmart's deals for days. This Cyber Monday. Head online and don't miss out on this season's hottest deals at Walmart. Go!
The chef's chicken sandwiches at Panera, freshly prepared with clean ingredients, spark an explosion of the senses. So when you finally taste it, it just confirms this is fantastic, and only at Panera. $1 delivery fee on our app.
What if your dishwasher dried your dishes like never before? At Bosch, we believe every dish should receive a powerful clean and emerge dry. Our patented new technology, Crystal Dry, transforms moisture into heat, so even plastics come out remarkably dry. Experience the ultimate clean and ultimate dry with Crystal Dry. Available on select new Bosch dishwashers. Bosch, invented for life. To see the full line of Bosch products, shop Apt, pleasing people.